Alright folks, we have a lot of silver news to cover in this video. Silver is back down to $38, which is so insane to say down to 38. It just shows that these prices are stabilizing higher, but we almost saw it hit 39. We saw 38.51 just 2 days ago, but some of the key points from this article is hot PPI stops, silver rally, eyes on Jackson Hole as Fed cuts in doubt. Silver stalls at 38.74 as inflation data fuels fears the Fed may delay or skip upcoming rate cuts. July's PPI rose 0.9%, more than 4 times the forecast, raising doubts about inflation easing and hitting silver sentiment, and Fed rate cuts or the odds dipped after the PPI report, weighing on silver and lifting Treasury yields across the curve. It's just so interesting that all of these things are what's affecting the price of silver right now. But when we look at the bigger picture, when we look at the real situations going on, the macro, not just the micro, there's a big difference between the micro and the macro. This stuff is micro. This is the day-to-day stuff, the stuff that really doesn't matter. We know the dollar's inevitably going to fail, and we know what silver is needed for and the real reasons why silver is valuable, not talking about comparing it to monetary. For gold, yes, this is the meat and potatoes, but not for silver. But a lot of people don't know that. But anyway, silver stalls below $39 as inflation data reignites rate hike fears. So I'm going to show you this chart right here. You can see it was up to 38.51 2 days ago, and now it's back down to 37.96. Now, we are getting desensitized to higher prices. If you step back and look, though, it is gradually going up, and it is staying up. The average price of me stacking silver is around $15. That's what the average price of silver has been since I've been buying when I started. So this is still very good. It's just if you're newer, maybe you got in at 38 or 39, you're saying, oh, it hasn't done anything. But silver's actually done a lot. Look at the year chart. This is insane. It's up $10 since September of 24. And actually, we saw it down to $11 in March of 2020, which is pretty insane. Where is that? Actually, it doesn't even show in this chart. It was only for a little bit. But yeah, silver was down to $11 in March of 2020. But yeah, look what's happening. Look what's happening. It's almost back up to this 50. It's a 37-year cup and handle at play. Anyways, though, let's keep moving on. So silver prices are retreating on Thursday, pulling back from a short-lived rally that stalled at 38.74. The level now marks immediate resistance, while the 14-year highs at 39.53 hit on July 23rd remains the more decisive ceiling for bullish momentum. After 2 sessions of strength, the reversal signals hesitation as traders weighed renewed inflation risks and recalibrate Fed policy expectations. Technically, the 37.87 level, the 50% retracement of the recent upswing, is the first line of support. Below that is 37.51, and the 50-day moving average at 37.30 represents key levels where dip buyers may re-enter, which I recommend entering at that point, or even right now. I mean, that's pennies of a difference when we're talking about silver's true potential. Whether you buy at $35, whether you buy at $28, it's not really going to matter in the grand scheme of things, because regardless, we'll be wishing we could pay these prices someday. So if those fail to hold, attention shifts to July 31st, low of 36.21, which could come into play if longer term conditions further weaken sentiment. So, and by the way, did you notice something? July 23rd, silver was 39.53. July 31st, it was 36.21. Do you see within just a couple of days how big of a drop it was? But we're still up to 38 right now, meaning these prices have stabilized higher highs and lower lows. But now that we broke above these highs, it's easier for it to go higher and harder for it to go lower. PPI surprising triggers concerns over inflation stickiness. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics July's producer index shocked markets with a 0.9% month-over-month rise, well above the 0.2% forecast, and the sharpest increase since June of 2022. Core PPI also climbed to 0.9%, while the annual headline rate hit 3.3%, far above the Fed's 2% target. Silver, often used as an inflation hedge, can initially benefit from hotter inflation readings. However, this report was viewed as increasing the likelihood that the Fed may delay or limit rate cuts, which hurt silver in two key ways. Higher rates raise opportunity costs of holding non-yielding assets like silver, and a stronger dollar, often tied to hawkish Fed policy, typically pressures precious metals lower. The net effect Thursday was bearish. So Fed rate cut odds trimmed, hurting precious metals. Markets have largely priced in a September rate cut following this week's CPI release, which came in near expectations. But Thursday's PPI data disrupted that view. The CME FedWatch tool now shows a modest decrease in the probability of a cut next month. But who really knows, right? Who really knows? Treasuries responded accordingly. The 2-year yield rose to 3.718%. Up 3.1 basis points, while the 10-year Treasury held around 4.25%. Rising short-term yields tighten financial conditions, reinforcing downward pressure on silver by making it less attractive relative to interest-bearing assets. So here's some of the important stuff. Jackson Hole could be decisive for silver's next move. With conflicting inflation signals in play, traders are looking to the Fed's Jackson Hole Symposium next week for clarity. The event has a track record of signaling monetary policy direction, and also, and that's from last year. Chair Powell used it to pivot towards easing if policymakers strike a hawkish tone in response to the PPI data. Silver may face further downside. Conversely, any dovish historic rhetoric could reignite the bid in precious metals. Now, here's the market forecast. Silver at risk of a deeper pullback below 37.30. And comment down below if you think this is possible. I don't think it is. Obviously anything's possible. We are to 37.91, so it could drop a bit lower. But in my opinion, we'll probably hold around these prices, maybe 37.60 or 37.50. But it's standing its ground in this $38 region, especially with people, people taking advantage of the pullbacks. I mean, we were up to 39.51, so of course it's going to go back up there in the next couple of weeks. It's not just going to hit that almost up to, it's not just going to break 14-year highs and then just stay down. It's going to go back up to that eventually. And since we know that, just take advantage of it. The rejection at 38.74 combined with a deteriorating Fed rate cut outlook leaves silver vulnerable in the near term. Traders will be watching the 37.87 pivot and the 50-day moving average at 37.30 closely. That's the price. Those are the support and resistance levels we have to kind of, keep an eye on. But in the grand scheme of things, of course, silver's going upwards. If you wanted to purchase some silver for great prices, send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Slayer sent you. Also, if you want to if you want to become a member of the Secret Silver Society, which you get a raffle ticket every month. I pick a winner on the 31st of every month. It's $5 a month on Patreon. It's patreon.com/silverslayer. On the 31st of every month, you have an opportunity to win silver, so you always have something fun and exciting to look forwards to. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here, folks. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace. From now on, every single month on the 31st, you have a chance to win silver, a continuous silver giveaway. Well, if you become a member of the Secret Silver Society on my Patreon, you have that opportunity. So every single month, you have something exciting to look forwards to, which would be winning silver. On top of that, you'll have access to a live chat room with other silver stackers where you can post pictures and chat, just hang out with everyone, and have early access to my videos along with supporting me. If this is something you'd like to do, then come join my Patreon. It's patreon.com/silverslayer. Upon joining, you'll be given a monthly raffle ticket and instant access to that chat room. Go introduce yourself. Everyone is super nice, and it's more personal and intimate than a YouTube comment section. Folks, I'm so excited to announce that I've partnered with American medical experts whose purpose is helping veterans get the medical benefits that they truly deserve. Over 17 million veterans aren't receiving their full benefits, and if this is you or someone you know, then act now. American medical experts are offering free consultations through our med team to see how we can help. The med team offers board-certified doctors who have experience working with the VA, comprehensive medical evidence for services like mental health as well. Some of these include your Nexus letter, your DBQs, your TDIUs, your AAs, and more. I want to personally thank American medical experts for helping veterans, but also giving me an opportunity to help veterans as well. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment to get a free consultation through our med team. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless.